Hi, welcome back to my channel, According to Kat. So what will we be making today? I'm still on the Easter mode, so I'm going to be making this item you see behind me. Most of my items came from the Dollar Tree. However, a few came from the Dollar Zone. Dollar Zone is a new store in my area. I stopped by, I really liked a few things, so I picked them up. I'll be using them in some other crafts as well, but mostly the items I'll be using are Dollar Tree items. If you'd like to learn how to make this, please stay tuned. So the first thing you want to get is the Dollar Tree plastic terracotta starter pots. They come in a package of 6. First thing I have is Michael's acrylic paint. I have it in white and purple. I want to make almost like a grayish purple effect. I already painted it with some Waverly chalk paint from Walmart and used some white and black to make almost a gray. I'm just making some sort of marbled effect. These I got from Dollar Zone. They are 5 bunnies on a stick. They have almost a glitter effect. These I use in my wreath. That video will be coming up soon. Those are eggs also from the Dollar Zone. These are from the Dollar Tree floral area, and they are amaranthus. I didn't use those kind of stalky things in my last DIY, so I thought I would use them for this because they kind of reminded me of carrot tops. I pulled off all the little hook hangers on the eggs, and I start spraying the bunnies to make sure the glitter isn't everywhere. I use the Dollar Tree foam that comes in the 4 blocks, and I'm just cutting it to size to fit in. I realize I need to get smaller pieces, so I cut it down again. Now, those cups I'm using are from the Dollar Tree. They are the 6 cups that come in a pack, and they are like a plastic, very flimsy. So be careful when you're putting in the foam because they will bulge out. They almost look like a terracotta, but they're plastic. So now I cut down the bunnies, the sticks to get them a little shorter. I'm gluing on the foam eggs. The eggs are cute. They have like little splotches on them. I like how they looked. So I have the bunnies holding those, and I start putting in the picks. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get these carrot tops to stand up on the foam. I'm afraid they're going to fall over, so I take an egg carton that I had left over, you know, the cardboard kind, and I cut that up into the small where each egg can fit in, and I put a hole at the top, and this is where I'm going to insert the carrot top. I pull it through that little hole, and it helps support that green. I'm putting it inside of each flower pot. Just be careful with the scissors when you do that because I don't want it to go through and cut anybody. Again, I'm just sticking it through, pulling out the other side, and then putting it next to each bunny pick. This one's a little big, so I cut it to fit. So I'm using my Spanish moss from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cover the foam, I'm going to cover the egg carton, and anything I don't want everyone to see. I need to adjust the picks a little bit. I do this to all 5 pots. And now I'm using raffia to tie around each of the pots. I'm trying to measure here how long I want it. I want to wrap it around twice, tie it in a knot. I will tuck under a tag with a letter on each of the pots. Here I am tying it around. Later, I do go back and put a little dab of glue on the back of each raffia to help it stand up. I don't have it in video, so I just wanted to let you know that I did do that. Just shortening the knot pieces. So that's how it looks so far. I'm going to do the rest of the 5 pots. I am tying a little bow of twine. This twine is green. I've had it for a very long time, but again, you can use the twine from the Dollar Tree. Just trying to use up what I have. And I'm going to attach them to the bunny's necks. Everything sticks very well to this. I didn't have any problems with how things stick. So I'm just showing you how they look for now. I do like how they look. I think they're adorable. And I think, how am I going to display these? So at this point, I decide that I want to use a cardboard box to make it look like a wooden box. I use Dollar Tree's contact paper. Here I'm measuring it out. And I'm trying to see, creasing it so I know where I'm cutting. Now this is where I decide to put it on as a whole piece. I don't know if I would have done that again. I think what I would have done is have done the top and done around the outside. I think I would have got a cleaner cut. I think it looks fine. I think I really like the way it looked, but I think it might have been a little bit easier. Here I'm cutting out the corners, so I'm getting a crisp edge, and you can see what it looks like before I place it on. So I'm pulling it back, and I'm going to keep the cardboard box down, and I'm going to lay it on top and then just smooth it out over the sides. And it works pretty well. I mean, I'm happy with the way it worked. Again, I think it would have been a little easier if I would have done the top and then around the sides. But it did look very nice. I'm happy with it overall. This I got from the Dollar Tree. It's a scraper, and I used it to smooth out my paper. I think it worked fine. You don't need it. You could use any credit card or anything. Your hands, that's fine too. Here I'm creasing my edges. I know it looks a little rough there, but I do end up adding some nautical rope to the edges. So now I'm just smoothing it all out, and I'm gluing down the extra pieces on the underside of the cardboard box. I'm using hot glue for the whole thing. This is how it looks. I'm happy. So I do not want it to be as shiny as it is. Contact paper from Dollar Tree is a little shiny. Here I'm using the Waverly Mineral Paint from Walmart, and I want more of a grayish block. So the mineral has that grayish, brownish, whitish look, which I love that color. So I'm coating it all over. Now I'm just taking a cloth and I am wiping off the excess. The reason I wanted to use the chalk paint on this is to dull it out a little bit and so it doesn't look so shiny. So I'm just wiping off all that excess. Now I'm taking the Waverly chalk paint in the white, and I'm just brushing it on just to add a different layer and variation in color. So I'm gluing on each pot. And now I'm going to get my nautical rope because I want to clean up the sides a little bit. So I'm going to attach that all around each of both sides. Right there, I'm adding a little glue to the end so it doesn't unravel. and I'm just going up and around and over. You can see how I'm doing it here. Make sure you hold it there for a second so that it adheres nicely to the box. So I'm cutting off the little edge at the end, and that's how it looks. Okay, so the next step I want to do is add handles on both sides. So I am kind of measuring how long I want it, and I cut out 2 of them, one for each side. This is where I want to add some twine to the end because it tends to unravel, and I thought this would add an extra touch. I really like how that looked. I added it to both handles. Now I'm just going to glue it on both sides. It stayed fine, still holding up. I had no problems. Okay, now I'm using my Fiskars punch out tool. This is the thick one, so you can use heavy cardstock. This is very heavy paper I'm using right now. So it kind of looks like a little price tag. I'm putting the holes in it. However, I don't even use the holes because when I added the raffia to it to tie around, I thought it was too much. So I end up tucking it under the raffia there. This is a Sharpie metallic oil-based pen. You can use a regular Sharpie in black. I wanted to use the metallic silver because I thought it would look good with the gray on the wooden box that I had painted. All right, so I am writing Hoppy. So I'm taking each of my little tags and I'm writing freehand on each of them. I'm not worried about it. It looks fine. I kind of like how it looks handmade, so I'm fine with it not being perfect. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is add an element in the front of the fake wooden box. And so I take some raffia from the Dollar Tree. I've said it before, I don't love the raffia because I do feel it shreds or frays on the end. So right there I was adding some regular Elmer's white glue so it won't fray. Here I'm gluing it onto the front with my hot glue, and I'm using my marker just to kind of smooth it out. I'm taking the tags and slipping them underneath each of the raffia on each flower pot. I do put it under both pieces of the raffia. Now I'm taking the largest of all the wooden popsicle sticks. I did get these at Dollar Zone just because they were the largest, and I know they do have bigger ones now at Dollar Tree. So if you can find those are great. If you can only use the small ones, glue a few together and make it more of like a shiplap. Here I'm using some of that Michael's paint again, the acrylic paint, making more of a gray color. And now I'm adding some white to add some layering of color. So now I'm brushing on that acrylic white, and I am taking my gauze rag and wiping off the excess, adding some black, grayish black to the ends to look a little rustic. I found some Easter fonts that I liked on the internet and I printed them out. You could see I practice on my board up in the left-hand corner, and I am freehanding writing Easter on the wood. I'm using a regular everyday black Sharpie. I wrote it lightly at first, add almost like a little coat of white, and then I wanted to darken it up. So now I'm hot gluing it on to the front of the piece of raffia, and this is what it looks like. I love it. I think it looks really nice in my living room. My kids love it. They think it's so cute. My family did not even know that wasn't real wood until I got close and turned it upside down. I do feel this DIY was very budget friendly. I do feel this DIY is very whimsical, and I love it. So So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and share, and thank you for helping my channel grow. Bye!